let this whole business of the message of the cross and its proclamation go by without talking a little bit about Moses. Funnily enough, Moses, of course, is Old Testament. Moses is one of the great characters of the Old Testament. Moses was the great lawgiver. Moses was the great leader of his people, who went after the burning bush episode into Egypt, got out all the children of Israel who'd been slaves there for so long, got them across the Red Sea, escaped the charging Egyptian chariots, got them across the Red Sea into the wilderness, where they went round and round for 40 years for one reason or another. But a lot of what Moses did is very, very symbolic of Jesus and the cross. He's very much a sort of precursor of Jesus. And one of the ways that we can really learn from him is in the application of the good news of the cross. But of course, he wouldn't have known about the cross. But what he did have was a huge, great walking stick, a shepherd's crook sort of walking stick, which is in the Bible is called the staff of God. Now, if you think of Old Testament terminology being the staff of God, it isn't much of a leap to say, well, wait a minute, the cross of Christ was the staff of God. It's another piece of wood used for God's purposes. So let's have a look at one of the episodes in Moses' life and in leadership, and you can see how he uses it. He's leading the people through the desert. They're getting very, very thirsty. They're running out of water again. But they're battling on, bless their hearts. They're battling on. And they get caught by an oncoming charge of a vast horde of brigands, of really nasty people called Amalekites. And they are professional thieves, robbers. They attack trading caravans and things just to steal everything. That's how they made their living. And they're about to hit the children of Israel. And don't forget, our children of Israel people have only been a few weeks out of hundreds and hundreds of years of slavery. So they're bound to be undernourished. They're bound to be very unskilled in military matters and how to fight people and so on. So it's a totally unfair situation. There's an incoming horde which is just going to flatten a lot of them. I mean, it's pretty disastrous. So Moses leaves Joshua in charge, goes up on the mountain, overlooking, or is it the top of a canyon or something, overlooking the battleground, and holds up over the battle the staff of God. Now, that's interesting, because you see, as soon as he holds it up, Joshua starts winning. But when his arms get tired, bless him, and he starts to put it down a bit, then the Amalekites start winning. So he plucks up courage, he lifts it up again, and we start winning. But after a bit, he gets very tired and drops it down, and the Amalekites start winning. At the end of the day, he's getting pretty tired. His arms are beginning to ache a lot, I guess. So a couple of friends turn up, and they put a big stone under him. He can sit on a boulder. And then one either side of him can hold up each arm, so they can hold up the staff of God permanently then over the battle. And guess what? We win. We win. Now, there's lots to learn from that passage. I think the first thing is that Moses knew that as soon as he was faced with this insurmountable problem, the first thing he would do is hold the message of the cross in New Testament terms, but in his terms, to hold the staff of God over the battleground. When he did that, we won. But he got tired, as we get tired sometimes being persistent with this, prayer business, and we get tired and we lower the cross. He lowered the staff of God, and the enemy set to and started to win again. So he had to jack it up again. And again he held it up. And eventually there's a great corporate issue, because he's getting too tired. He's getting the old man down a bit. So his friends from church gather around, and they start to hold up the staff of God with him. And then a complete victory. So there's a lesson about getting help. There's a lesson about not necessarily running the good news of the cross at everybody on our own. There's also a message in this story which says keep going with it. Don't give up at the first sign that the enemy might possibly win. Don't give up. Keep going. So that is the story of Moses and the staff of God against the Amalekites.